What up, Long Beach? Welcome back to GazetteSports.com and the Press Telegram. It's Mike.
And JJ. This highlight video is brought to you by the fine folks at Naples Rib Company.
Oh, let's get rowdy indeed. That's exactly what the Bruins want to do after they got out-physicaled in the first round against Poly.
Well, Poly is at the corner of 7th and Examino, scene of the crime 2 years ago when they won the Moore League. Moore League again on the line here between the oldest rivalry in Long Beach.
Well, and doesn't it always seem like it's that way against these teams? And just like the league title's always on the line, bodies are always on the ground because the defense is always physical and involved, and obviously a pair of experienced goalkeepers in Imani McDonald and Sam Moreno.
Yeah, Imani McDonald for Poly, the junior, Sam Moreno for Wilson, the senior. Those two girls been going head-to-head in the cage for the last few years. Lana Hudson and Sam Moreno.
Lana!
Introducing each other to each other. A lot of contact for both goalies, not afraid to come off their lines.
Morgan McCullough digging in. That was the Poly strategy against Claire Oates and the rest of those very technically skilled players. But that's what head coach Terry Collins wants. She wants to get in the face, make them uncomfortable a little bit.
Sydney Ellis teased this up off the free kick. Claire Oates' head, Leslie Walker and Moreno both meet. They've got words as well. Yes, hi, my name's Leslie.
The
hi,
goal,
my
the
name's
goal
Sam.
disallowed. First things first before we get into the posturing a little bit there.
Walker walks the walk as she moves away, but has to come back for a bit of a talking to.
Both players talking the talk, obviously, but this was the kind of game that you'd take home to meet your parents. Very non-threatening, JJ.
Well, overall, yeah, and relatively to some of the other games we've seen these two teams play. Defenses, though, continuing to just shut the door. Took us 15 minutes to see a shot. It took us a half hour to see a shot on goal. Still very tiring, though.
You obviously need to get your water in. Poly pushing hard to start the second half. Spent a lot of time in the Wilson end with those long throw-ins that they love to create opportunities for themselves. These are what we call high school goals. I mean, they're not trying to connect 6 passes. They're just trying to throw it in there and see if someone can head the thing in.
Well, there's skinny pitches here in the Moore League, so you can have a throw-in be a set piece. And sure enough, 63rd minute, sophomore Lana Hudson gonna go fishing. She catches a game changer. Andrea Ramirez with the finish. What a snap header for the senior forward.
Pushes it near side against that post, and Moreno just cannot get there in time. You mentioned she's a senior. This is a young team, so a rare senior for Poly and a nice moment for her.
Football may be a collision sport. Soccer's a contact sport.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Don't let anybody tell you that these players aren't out there working hard and giving their bodies up. A collision between Imani McDonald and Katie Pratt-Thompson, both would end up being okay.
Yeah, good deal. I mean, Poly was just more comfortable with those moments, those physical moments, shutting down small places. The second half played in a phone booth, but that's okay for the Jackrabbits.
Well, they're more comfortable, I think, scoring out of those kind of scrum plays than Wilson is. Wilson wants to use their skill in the open field. This, a legitimate rivalry, though. You always see stuff like this. You don't want to say it's like Steelers-Ravens or Seahawks-49ers. You don't want to say they necessarily hate each other, but there's certainly emotion going back and forth in each direction. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and you see plays like this more often than not in these local derbies. Again, you also saw a lot of great goal play, but I've got to give credit to the back lines, mostly. You know, the goalkeepers are there measuring those back lines, but God, you just didn't see those long, ambitious goes at goal. Everything was touch tight.
Well, you're absolutely right. Great team defense all around by both teams in this one. Poly not laying low after going up 1-0. Sometimes you see that, especially when a draw would have been a good result for them.
It was a BPL approach, smash and grab. Kick the ball over the back line, use your speed to go get it, make Wilson make mistakes, and they did.
And Wilson also just not really threatening. That's about as hard as McDonald had to work in the second half right there.
Wilson was trying to play like Poly didn't use a sweeper, but they do. And if you're going to use a sweeper, things are going to get chippy. And when they get chippy, they're going to even get more chippy as the game gets longer.
Well, when you got a lot of chips on your shoulder, it's easy to get chippy. I mean, wow. Walker and Oates just ready to get into it right there. Obviously, an emotional game. So don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Ensuing free kick from Empleo. So many set piece chances for Wilson while they chased the equalizer. So many easy stops for McDonald.
Well, and that is how it goes. That's the story of the Moore League 2013-14 season right there, as the Jackrabbits mobbing their goalie. That is 2 shutouts against Wilson this year, which is a thing. That is not something that is often done by Poly or anybody. Wilson had won 10 of the last 12 Moore League titles, but Poly has now won, JJ, 2 of the last 3.
An unexpected champion right there, your Poly Jackrabbits. And they came in with the season with a chip on their shoulder, and they're leaving with a plaque.
They're going to try and follow that up with some playoff success. That's the only thing lacking for this Poly team. Obviously, the postseason just around the corner. We will have the live release of the brackets on Monday.